Hey guys, what's up? So today I want to share with you 8 secret exercises that I collected in New York through the years. So we're all practicing a lot of things and we all feel differently about some exercises. Sometimes we think it's working, sometimes it's not working. And these 8 exercises I really feel very strongly about, and I actually practice them every day. So I really see the value of checking them out. I also made a PDF that's available on Patreon for the octave exercises, the same note, and also for the right hand technique if that's helpful. Here we go. 1. Playing the same note in different octaves. Now, although this exercise seems very simple, and it is pretty simple, the idea behind it is that we're tagging the information. Again, music is all about tension and release and colors, so we want to be super aware of the colors that we're dealing with. This exercise, you're basically taking one note and finding all the options to play it. For example, E. I'll just take all the options and try to listen carefully to the colors of those sounds. Now try to listen carefully when I'm doing this. I feel it's like taking a printer and kind of like recalibrating it. So you're listening and you're kind of finding the balance with the guitar, G, etc., etc. So the idea of this is both seeing the fingerboard clearly, seeing the name of the notes, and also kind of feeling how it feels to play in the different registers pretty quickly. Again, it doesn't have to be very fast, it just needs to be accurate. 2. Be aware of your body. I know it sounds a little bit vague, but what I'm talking about is actually finding the points of tension in our body. So when we're playing music, oftentimes we get stressed, especially when we're playing fast. And sometimes the actual physical stress that we put on our body affects our playing in a negative way. So basically, because we're emotionally stressed to play, so that line can be much more chill if I'm just like, now, the idea of checking in with our body is basically understanding what are the points that causes this stress, being aware, stopping, and understanding, taking a deep breath and saying like, okay, when I'm stressing out, my jaw kind of locks. So now I gotta breathe in, breathe out, and let it go. And then it's very interesting how we can play actually better by being aware of the stress points in our body. You can use a mirror or just like being super aware of it, but try it because it's really, really an interesting journey. 3. Dynamics. As guitar players, this is a little bit out of the conversation oftentimes, and it's very surprising because when you're studying piano, one of the first lessons, at least the first lesson I had, was playing C major scale and then playing it soft, not soft, and loud, right? Pianissimo or piano, mezzo forte kind of balance and not too loud, and then forte loud. So basically working on the expression. It's like me saying like, hey guys, or saying yo. So they're both important to express certain emotion, but I'm not gonna talk with you guys and shout all the time, or I'm not gonna whisper the whole time. Now, if we're not aware of that and we can't utilize it to express music, then we don't use the full colors and the full palette that we can have. So here's the exercise. Take C major scale and play it the softest that you can possibly play. Find a point of almost no sound to sound. So I'll try. I hope you heard that, but if not, I guess I did a good job. Now I'll try to find the loudest point. So and then I'll try to find the middle point. Then I'll slow it down much more and I'll try to see if I can go from number 1 to number 10 to number 5. So right now what I'm going to do is just play number 5. I'm going to play mezzo forte and I'm trying to play all the notes as balanced as possible. And it is hard with guitar. Each string feels differently, each amp feels differently, each space has different overtones that affects it. So we need to be conscious of it, but we need to be aware of it because, again, that was a fly. But we need to be aware of it because that is a very powerful tool to express music. So check it out. Mezzo forte. Or piano to forte. Etc., etc. The idea is practicing it and trying to be aware of it more and more in your playing, and also seeing it outside. Again, this is something that happens with every artist, if it's jazz, pop, rock, anything. So check it out, and I think this is going to be very helpful. 4. Open strings. So this was a big revelation for me. I'm working on this exercise again every day, literally. The first thing I do with the guitar is playing the open strings. The reason is that we have 2 hands, and these 2 hands need to be in sync. Have a fly, it's not cool. We have 2 hands and we need them to be in sync, right? So we can't really expect our right hand to follow all this practice that we're doing. I mean, it's pretty impressive that it's happening oftentimes, but it's not perfect. So for me, I had a lot of times when I was playing shows and I was hearing a phrase and I just didn't play it because I knew I can't actually pick it. So then I said, okay, so let me try and figure it out and just work on my right hand separately. So here are 3 things that you can do just to make that happen a little bit more. You can play it either with open strings or with a bar chord. I'll play it with a bar chord right now because sometimes it's just fun to play bar chords because it's different tension between the length of the strings, because if it's just open, it feels in a different way than if it's being pressed on. So I'll play bar chords in different areas. I'm just gonna play C major here. I'm gonna play 4 options. 1 all down, the second one all up, then down up, and then the 4th one up down. I'm dividing the action into 2 motions. First, resting the pick on the string, so preparing the pick, and then the second one, releasing, preparing, releasing, preparing, releasing, preparing, releasing. So preparing, releasing, preparing, releasing, really slow and careful. All down, now all up. Down, up. That's basically alternate picking. And up, down. Now, basically what's happening, I'm really playing the string, and then I'm going to the next string as fast as possible to prepare it, to be ready to play, playing it, then the next one. Now I would practice it extremely slow without looking at the fingers, just so you focus on this mental thing. And the idea is basically we're trying to teach our brain where the strings are on a very micro level. So check it out, and I think this one is also really important. 5. Ask yourself, where are you playing using your pick? What position on the board or on the string, I would say? There's a big difference in sound and tension if I'm playing very close to the bridge or very close to the neck. Now, they're all fine. The question is, how are we sitting? Is there tension? And although it's a simple question, it's a question I ask myself all the time. What height is my strap? What picks I'm using? How consistent? So I'm trying to eliminate as many variables. So when I'm playing, there are less surprises. A little bit like the piano, because it's just there and you play it. And of course, piano players would say it's always different pianos. It's very true, I understand. But for me, I'm trying to have less moving elements. Although this one is a little vague, I would still put some time in it and check it out. 6. Sing a scale and feel the pain. What I mean by that is basically taking a center and hearing the tension and release within. I'm gonna just take G major, for example. So, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. So again, I'm listening to the notes. It doesn't matter if it's solfege or G, A, B, it's all fine. But the idea is that you really listen to the tension and release. So you feel this tension tension between the notes that you're playing and you're tagging it. The same way we talked about tagging one note, this is within a scale. So really listening deeply. 7. Center color exploration. What I mean by that is actually simple. We're just going to take one center, F, and I'm just going to listen to the notes in relation to that center. It could be starting as just a major, but I'm listening to the notes and tagging them as I go along. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, but also F, G, A, and I'm really super aware of that sound. Flat 3. At that flat 2. 5, flat 5. Feeling that pain. Now it doesn't need to be in any specific style. If you're playing a blues, you know, you're just playing. It's the same thing, you're just playing tension and release against the center. So just try to explore it with a lot of awareness to what you're playing and how it sounds. 8. Practice letting go and just listening deeply to the sound. So I would just like kind of play a random intro or something. Just pick up some chords and sounds and try to fall in love with those colors. Just listen deeply. There are no mistakes. Just listen to how it sounds. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I hope this was interesting and helpful. These are, again, points that I kind of collected through my years in New York. I mean, I'm still in New York, but still collecting. But these are things that I practice often, every day, basically. And I really think that those would have been helpful for me if I knew about them a little earlier. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. If you think a friend would be into that, so just share it with your friend. And thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.